Hello buddy, it's Ben Dominator, and today I wanted to give a little bit of my opinions and perspective on how I believe Fortnite Season 10, or Season X as some people call it, might have actually, or could have been, the best season of Fortnite. Fortnite Season 10 was probably one of the most controversial seasons when it comes to both sides of the community, both casuals and competitive players alike. It added a lot of features that a lot of players didn't really like, but it also had a huge amount of potential that I think was clearly wasted during that time. First, I want to start off with the things that I think Season 10 actually did pretty well. First off, the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass for Season 10 is one of my favorite Battle Passes that we've ever seen. We got so many great skins in the Battle Pass, and the thing is, they were all remakes or reimagining of Battle Pass skins that we've seen before, specifically mostly from Season 4, Season 5, Season 2, things like that. We got a lot of great skins like Sparkle Supreme, Yonder, and Catalyst, which are all great additions to anybody's Fortnite locker. Now, the reason some people don't really like this Battle Pass is because they think it's lazy, and they also think it kind of makes those older Battle Pass skins not as good in comparison to these new, better ones. They feel like they were kind of ripped off of skins that they thought were rare or they thought had a lot of value to them before and that they really liked. My whole opinion on that is that they're not the same skin, so you could still run those old Battle Pass skins even if the new ones may be better. Some of those old ones actually do hold up really well still to this day. Things like the Black Knight I think are way better than the version in the Battle Pass. It's kind of, Fortnite used to kind of have this old skin style that was a bit lazier and took less effort, but was actually really cool because they took the defaults and they kind of just modified them to create skins. If you look really closely at the Black Knight, you can actually see a lot of how they just took the original Jonesy model, or maybe any other male default model, and kind of modified it heavily to create the Black Knight archetype. It didn't have any shiny bells and whistles on it, and they only had to model a few new things onto the skin, and it made it kind of authentic, really. It really shows kind of how old Fortnite skins were made. You can also see this with the Raven skin, which isn't a Battle Pass skin, but did release during Season 3. Some of these new Season 10 Battle Pass skins don't really have that. None of them look like modified defaults, which is a good thing for Season 10, but if you still want something like Sparkle Specialist, who kind of just looks like a default skin and has that kind of OG feeling to it, you can still use it as long as you still have the skin. But if you want this new updated refined version that kind of loses some of that OG-ness but still makes it a cooler skin, in my opinion at least, then you can rock the newer Sparkle Supreme skin and all that. I think that's what makes this Battle Pass really, really good. Now, we can't talk about Season 10 without mentioning the mechs. Yes, the mechs, or the brutes, as Fortnite likes to call them, were an addition in Season 10, and this is where we start getting into the negatives about this season. Fortnite introduced the mechs as a way to kind of get the casual players to enjoy the game more, add some more fun and interesting items into the mix, and pretty much make it so that casuals or players that maybe might not be as good at the game have a more fun time and be able to actually get kills and stuff and enjoy their time. This is all to make sure that they keep as many players on the game as possible, because they don't want to make the game seem too difficult for newer players, which is a sentiment that they seem to have kind of thrown out the window at this point with skill-based matchmaking and stuff like that, trying to fix issues in that regard, but kind of just failing at it in the process. But anyways, back to Season 10. The mechs were unbalanced. Now, a lot of the wacky items in Fortnite were unbalanced, but the mechs especially were just not fun to go against. They're fun to use sometimes, but there wasn't really a real counter to them, and they just kind of destroyed the metagame. Much like the Infinity Blade introduced in Season 7 that only lasted a week, the mechs were a force to be reckoned with and could pretty much destroy anything in their path. The problem with this, however, is that they kept them almost the entire season, only kind of removing them for storyline purposes, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks before the actual end of the season event. And yeah, they weren't fun to go against. It's something that made me not really want to play the game much, but I still was playing there to get through the battle pass, which I think was a huge saving grace for them. Because if the battle pass was not as good as it was, I don't think a lot of people would have stuck around. So it's really good that they introduced such a good battle pass, but the mechs really did bring down the season, and also the loot pool. The loot pool was not good. There were a lot of items that were useless, really bad, and there was not a lot of... there was just too much. There's too many items. You would loot a chest and you would get something random. It was always such a mystery what you would get, which was kind of fun, but at the same time it's like there's so much in the game that it's hard to actually find what you're looking for at that time. Though I do kind of miss the wacky items in Fortnite. A lot of the items at that time were either really useless or way too overpowered. We also had quite a lot of new additions in the season other than mechs. We saw junk rifts, which were supposed to be a counter to the mech, but just honestly became a counter to building in general. They were pretty fun while they lasted. I didn't really mind them too much. They were also pretty funny. There's a lot of funny clips that I have of me and my friends with junk rifts, especially in creative. And I don't know, I thought they were something, they were kind of wacky, they were kind of fun. I don't really have too many complaints. A lot of people thought they were overpowered. Honestly, it kind of struck the balance of being kind of overpowered but also kind of fun at the same time that the mech just couldn't reach. They also had a few named locations. We got the return of Dusty Divot, or not Dusty Divot, Dusty Depot, replacing Dusty Divot, of course. We got the Borderlands crossover event, which was pretty cool. We also got a Batman crossover event, and those were both pretty, handled pretty well, I think. We got some new exclusive skins with those as well, and Gotham City, as well as a new Borderlands area, which actually had cel-shaded graphics just like the game, which I really appreciated. But yeah, those were really good additions. The Batman stuff did bring some overpowered mythics to the game that were kind of annoying to do against, but were also really fun to use. So I didn't really have a problem with it too much. If something's overpowered, I don't really have a problem with it too much, as long as it's really fun to use and it's not awful to go up against. Things like the Batman stuff and the junk rifts, in my opinion, weren't that bad to go against and were really fun to use. Things like the mech, however, weren't really fun to use and also were not fun to go against, which made it very annoying. Now here's where I want to get into how I think the season could have been redeemed. One of the main weekly update things that they did to the game to keep it fresh was they introduced these new Rift Zone areas, which brought back old POIs that you know and love, but with a twist. Now my problem with this is the twist, because most of these POIs had a twist that made you just not want to land there at all. There was prop hunt, there was zombies, there was all these wacky things that was just kind of annoying. I say keep these rifted areas, but take out these wacky twists that made them annoying. Just bring back some of these OG locations for us to have fun with again. Maybe you could have different types of loot spawn there, kind of bring us back. They did bring back the TAC SMG, which was nice, but it was also extremely overpowered. But again, it was fun to use, and it was kind of fun to go up against, not gonna lie. Even though it's kind of annoying to be spammed, it can make for some interesting challenge, and I think that's what's fun about Fortnite, is being presented with these interesting challenges that may seem unfair, but if you overcome them, it's really, really satisfying. Again, the mechs did not provide a challenge that was satisfying to overcome, because 9 times out of 10, it was pretty much impossible. So yeah, I think these Rift Zones were probably the biggest missed opportunity, because they brought back these cool locations that we've been missing for a long time, and they made them worse. They made them really bad. So I think to fix this season, what you have to do, remove the mechs. Don't even nerf them, don't even try to do anything. Just get rid of the mechs and bring back the ATKs instead. Bring back the ATKs, let us ride around in those again. They actually took out a lot of mobility for the season, which was really disappointing, so just bring everything in. Maybe not the planes, maybe the planes, I don't know. That's probably up to you guys to decide. You guys can talk about it in the comments. But I say bring back all this, but I'll bring back all these vehicles. I mean, they were really fun. Put them all together. It's a merging of timelines, so why not? I say take this loot pool, shove it out the window, bring it back to the OG loot pool with maybe a few fun, wacky changes. I'd say keep the TAC SMG, keep the normal AR, burst AR, pump shotgun, tactical shotgun, and then just bring in all these things, maybe the scoped AR, maybe the porta riffs, maybe keep the junk riffs in there, I guess. Keep in the hunting rifle, you know, all these cool things that made the game fun. Take it back a step, kind of bring back all these old items and bring back nostalgia that way, because this season definitely did rely on a lot of nostalgia, and I think one of the best ways to do that is bring back the old loot pool and add a few extra elements in with it. Next, revert the map way more. I get that they were trying to kind of mix things together, but I think it would have been a lot more like nostalgic and more pleasing to fans to almost completely revert the map. Now, they couldn't do this obviously because they had these crossovers, because they had to add new POIs for Gotham City, but I think they could have worked just fine. Maybe don't revert it all the way, but definitely revert a lot of points of interest to how they were. Yeah, and also add in lazy links in there. Get rid of lazy lagoon. We don't want lazy lagoon. You should put lazy links back. Why not? You brought back a lot of other OG places. Put lazy links in there to show some love. Why not? A lot of fans really liked it. But yeah, I think that's about it for what I think should be improved. To end it on a positive note, the live event to end out the season was phenomenal. My favorite live event, and a lot of people's favorite live event in Fortnite, was a great way to end the season and put it on a positive note. And yeah, that's Season 10, how I think it could have been improved. Talk about it in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.